Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D. About to react to this whole situation with young Philly. Y'all remember all that drama that happened when he went to jail because apparently he like essayed somebody or something? Somebody sent me this and said apparently the girl was lying or something. That is crazy if that's the case because it ruined his entire career. I think he's still in jail, or maybe he just got out. I don't know what the details are. I haven't reacted to this in a very long time, but we about to get the information and see what happened. Let's watch.
That woman explained to the camera, I just got touched by young Philly, but not in a bad way.
What?
Not in a bad way.
No, what are you talking about, man?
So today was actually a good day
So in a good way?
for young Philly as they poked some holes in the story of the accuser here.
The defence lawyer put to the complainant she had told a pack of lies and had not been assaulted by Mr. Barrientos.
Firstly, they say that the woman, the victim in this case, dreamt of having a relationship like David and Victoria Beckham, a marriage to the British YouTuber.
Wait, I thought they were about to say this chick said that she dreamt that it happened, but it never happened. Like, oh my bad. I had a dream that you essayed me, and I thought it was real, but after going over it in therapy, it's not real. I was about to throw my laptop. That'd have been wild, but that's not what.
And rapper Young Philly before he allegedly ardent assaulted her in that.
Oh wait, she dreamt about having a relationship like David and Victoria Beckham with young Philly. Girl, what make you think y'all could be them?
At Perth Hotel, the court was told. And you may think this is exaggeration, but she actually admitted this when being cross-examined, that she wanted to have that relationship like the Beckhams. And this is why I say these two were on two different wavelengths that night, and that's part of the reason this had went horribly wrong. Young Philly just see her as any groupie, and she actually had serious intentions of wanting to marry Young Philly. She was thinking they're going to be the next Beckhams. In reality, at the hotel, the woman asked to order a small fries and Young Philly to get it for her, and he refused. So Young Philly had it put to him yesterday, but today she was under cross-examination. The woman, the victim in court, who cannot be named for legal reasons. It's no secret on the night of the alleged she posted a number of videos to social media on which she said she was excited about meeting her idol. That is known here. And there is two sides to that. One, why would you accuse your idol of something you wouldn't want to ruin his career? And two, if he treated you really badly, then you could be a little bit salty and want to try and damage him if you can't have him. There is two sides to her really liking him at the start. The main thing Young Philly's lawyer needs to do here is poke a hole in one of her stories to make her out to be a liar, and then she could lie about anything. And they actually managed to do it. And the jury was actually shown videos of the woman at the bar on the night of the alleged attack, where she said she was going to marry the rapper and become rich and famous, and another one of them talking together. But the woman claimed that he had put his hands down her pants and touched her breast at the nightclub. Maybe she had a few too many shots that night and forgot that she actually posted this video, even though now she's claiming it is after, where she's saying that she was touched by Young Philly but in a good way. So then shortly after he was touched in a bad way. This is not adding up this part.
Video taken from inside the club where the woman, she can be heard saying, I got touched by Young Philly in a good way. I love Young Philly. I'm going to marry him. She says this was after the 30-year-old put his hands down her pants and touched her breast, telling the jury she was naive because he was her idol. That all changed later that night when she says consensual sex turned non-consensual.
So what his defence are basically saying here, we got a woman in the club who was touched and put up a story saying, I liked it, I was touched by Young Philly. He touched her again and then she didn't like it. They've gone back to the hotel room, they've had consensual sex at first, and then it's gone a little bit rough and then she didn't like it. So both times they're basically claiming that Young Philly's accused of just taking things too far. So them actually having that moment and playing that in court is big for Young Philly. She said, no, he grabbed my boob and I said you can't touch that, and he said it really shows your age. And when the defence lawyer showed her another video, he said you could hear her saying, I just got touched by Young Philly, not in a bad way, in a good way. So what kind of touching did you consent to and not consent to? It is a little bit of a grey area here that she's going into, and Young Philly's defence are just not having it. The young woman said that she was naive. He did touch me, but in an inappropriate way, she replied. The woman under questioning from Young Philly's lawyer agreed he was her favourite celebrity and that she saw herself as potentially Victoria Beckham. I think this is a really damning part in the trial already just in day two, because she would have been better off saying everything was consensual and then they got to the hotel, it was consensual, went too far. She was saying he's already acting inappropriate in a club, but we have a video of you saying that you got touched by Young Philly and you liked it. So it just shows a little bit that she does flip-flap on how she feels about things in certain moments.
Suggesting she was touched by him, just not inappropriately. Now, she broke down in tears at this point and insisted that she was. The defense lawyer then showed a video to the court.
Yeah, this makes it confusing. And let's be clear, just because a woman initially gives consent, it doesn't mean that, oh, well, she's just giving consent the entire interaction. She can withdraw consent at any time. And if the guy decides to, well, no, you said, yeah, first I'm gonna keep going, then that's a problem, obviously. You can't do that. That's against the law. Okay, that's when it's grape. So just because she consented with certain interactions and didn't consent with others, like, that's not the issue here. But it just sounds confusing when you say, oh, he touched me but in a good way, and then you're saying that, oh, but then he touched me inappropriately, I didn't like it, but then you went to his room and then you consented, but then, oh wait, then you didn't consent to this other part. Like, it just makes it very confusing. And not to say that she's lying, I don't know this lady, but it does make this seem like, okay, well, we don't know what to believe at this point. Is it clear and cut and dry? No. So should he go to jail for however many years over this? You know, so yeah, I see why this is a gray area, and this might get him off completely, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't know if he did it. I don't know if she's lying or telling the truth. So that's why I'm trying to be careful with my words, because I don't want to accuse him of being a rapist, and I also don't want to accuse her of being a liar, because I don't fucking know. And I hate when people try to force that narrative and be like, she clearly lying, or, oh no, he's clearly a rapist, he clearly did it. You don't fucking know. Like, shut up. You know? So yeah, I will say though that her story sounds a bit confusing and it's a bit fuzzy, and that doesn't make for a good case.
Of the 20-year-old woman who was with two friends, that woman exclaimed to the camera,
"Leave me alone."
"I was touched by young Philly, but not in a bad way." She was. The defense lawyer then showed a video to the court of the 20-year-old woman who was with two friends.
Young Philly's team now are just going to push on this point, saying she was obsessed with him. She wanted to marry him and get with him. And when she realised that wasn't going to happen, she withdrew her.
That also makes the situation a little fuzzy. It's like, because it kind of gives that you had this idea in your head that, oh, we're going to be together. And, you know, once you saw that things were not unfolding like you wanted them to, it's like, well, is that motive for you to lie on him? You know, so this is why it's like, I see him getting off, honestly, with this new information, because it just makes the situation very fuzzy. And when things are too fuzzy, it's like, nah, niggas get off.
Consent after being salty about the situation, and obviously how young Philly treated her.
The woman testified he told her, "You're coming home with me," before allegedly putting his hands down her pants and grabbing her breast. The court heard she thought she was going back to the Intercontinental Hotel for the after party. It wasn't. She told the jury her phone was taken away from her, the pair became intimate, and that the began consensual.
See, that also is a bit confusing, because you're saying that he put his hands down your pants, groped you, and said, "You coming with me." And apparently you didn't like that, but you thought that he was taking you to a party when he's like, "Yeah, we're about to go to this hotel. You coming with me. Let me put my hands down your pants and grope you." And you're like, "Okay, we're going to a party."
Until it wasn't.
And also, I want to know, just because something doesn't make sense, it doesn't always mean that the person is lying, because some people are just slow, okay? And we have to be aware of that as well. Just because we wouldn't do something, we can't just assume that other people wouldn't do it. So who knows? But yeah, again, this the math ain't mathin'.
Alleging young Philly beat her neck hard. The woman told him ow and to be gentle. He allegedly told her to stop talking before biting down on her neck again, then her breast, causing an open bite wound. Prosecutors say the 30-year-old restricted the woman's breathing and slapped her multiple times, allegedly telling her to say derogatory terms like, "I am Philly's dirty and fat pig."
Obviously, there is still 8 days to go.
Fat pig.
One thing that will
She was
push
fine.
it again the other way is the injuries are ridiculous. They're having intercourse and not having a fight. And she comes out with the injury pictures, and there is numerous marks. It's going to look terrible to the Australian jury of a girl that is around 20 at the time, or 19, getting involved in this encounter.
The woman was brought to tears on the witness stand today. She told the jury she was crying from the pain during the assault too, but says that didn't stop young Philly. who continued violating her. When it was over, the woman says young Philly ordered room service, told her she couldn't have any and to leave. The woman reported it to police the next day. Young Philly says he's innocent. He's pleaded not guilty to 10 charges, including 5 counts of rape and assault occasioning bodily harm. The trial is set down for 10
Now
days.
she can't have no room service.
Will decide his fate. Young Philly, how was it hearing that evidence in court today?
So her defense, that situation, is the woman saying they were separate encounters. The one where she was saying she got touched in a good way, and then when she got touched in a bad way. There were 2 more things that young Philly's lawyer wanted to put across in court. He's actually doing a pretty good job for young Philly so far in poking holes in what the victim said. She denied lying about being brutalized or violated by young Philly at the hotel room. When being questioned by young Philly's lawyer, she was asked why didn't she appear distressed in a short video taken on her phone following the alleged assault. She said, I wanted to make sure I stayed calm. I had a high-pitched voice on. I acted as calm as possible. I wanted to make sure I didn't make any scenario more worse than it could have been. So there's a video where she pretty much seemed normal, like nothing happened to her that she had recorded after.
I'm here at WA District Court for day 2 of young Philly's rape trial, where the complainant began her cross-examination. Today, the defence lawyer put to the complainant she had told a pack of lies and had not been assaulted by Mr. Barrientos. But the complainant said she was telling the truth and was quiet and calm during the alleged assault because she, quote, did not want to be raped or assaulted again.
And one of the main points she was making yesterday, she was kind of roped into going back to his hotel because she thought there was an after party. Young Philly also suggested the woman's version of events and how she came to leave the club with young Philly was inaccurate. The court was told the woman was in the toilet when young Philly went to leave the club, and one of her relatives messaged her and warned her about him departing. You approached the car and you were chasing him, the young Philly's lawyer said. I wasn't chasing him, the woman said. A CCTV video played in court showed young Philly leave the venue and walk into a waiting minivan. A short time later, the woman can be seen walking to the same vehicle, but she does not immediately get in. The woman told the court young Philly had waved to her from 10 metres away and she had followed. You went to the car and did a thumbs up and thumbs down. I can't remember, the woman said. Young Philly's lawyer challenged the woman's claim, claiming that she believed young Philly was taking her to an after party, not his hotel, and she had not seen other women get into his car with him. You didn't see the other girls get into the car. You knew there was no after party. This may not seem important when you're reading it, but it is very important in court because they want to make out young Philly was this nasty guy who had ill intentions, but if he wasn't pressing on her to come back with him and just left and she followed, there was no intention there from when they was in the club. Whereas if she was chasing him down and trying to go with him, is a whole nother story. They wanted it to seem like young Philly was tricking her to go back with him. Young Philly actually commented on the flyer saying he's excited to be in Perth. He would never have known what happened. But young Philly preying on girls in the club to take back someone and brutalise them is the headline that the people prosecuting him won, whereas his defence is saying more like she went on a consensual basis.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of holes in her story, and this just doesn't look good in court. Even if she's completely telling the truth, it just sounds a little off, so that's usually not, a strong case in order to lock somebody up. If there's any doubt, usually people lean towards, okay, well, they might be innocent, So, I don't know. We will see what takes place. But, yeah, if she is lying about this, that is so messed up because this ruined his life. This ruined his entire career. And if she just gets to walk away when she lied, that's not cool. But I'm pretty sure if you're caught lying in court, you do go to jail for that. But, yeah, that's messed up if she's lying. If she's not, then I hope they do find him guilty, obviously. But, we will see as time goes on, I guess. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this stuff, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.